Hello and welcome to my studio I call my garage. I'm going to start the Pro Pursuit video series by addressing what tripod manufacturers should have done many years ago, and that is designed a simple, quick, and affordable tripod that is easy to use. That's it. How many of you have struggled with your current tripod trying to get the perfect balance and stability of your camera only to have missed the shot because it took forever to set up or adjust? My name is Brandon DeHaan, and this is the Amateur to Pro video series that I call the Pro Pursuit, where I take you with me as I journey from an everyday amateur photographer to becoming a professional wildlife photographer. So let's go find some animals together. Currently, most tripods are either twist or lever lock leg extensions. Oops, I didn't twist this one long enough. There goes my $15,000 camera. Or, oops, it took too long setting up this tripod and now I missed the shot. I need a tripod that removes all frustration and is actually easy and fun to use. So I have to ask this question. Why in 2026 are there not more single-stage 3-lever tripod systems? There are some 1-lever tripod systems out there, but then you're paying way too much just for the tripod. So check this out. This is the YC Onion Pineta Peak tripod system. Look how easy it is to adjust. 1 stage, 3 levers, and you're all done. Whereas with the other systems, you're opening and closing each lock 6 to 9 different times for 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4 different stages just to expand the legs. What a joke. The YC Onion Pineta tripod is 1 stage, 3 levers, and that's it. The other thing I like about this tripod is the coconut ball head. You can get mostly level by the leg extensions, but if you need to fine-tune the levelness, just release this latch here and level your fluid head and your camera. Then lock it in place. Again, it's easy, and the last thing you want to do in wildlife photography is take forever setting up your gear and potentially missing the shot. The other great thing is you can unlock here and collapse the legs down to near ground level at about 6.3 inches off the ground. Other tripods do this, but some don't get that close to the ground. They're more like 20 to 25 inches off the ground. But this tripod gets you right where you need to be for those eye-level shots, especially for waterfowl on the water. And these guys thought of everything. Most tripods allow you to switch out the leg tips depending on what environment you're in. If you're indoors, you would use the rubber leg tips. If you're outside, you would swap out the flat ones for those spike tips for better grip. The spike tips are built into the system, so all you have to do is remove the flat rubber tips. Not to mention it's lightweight with carbon fiber material. I remember climbing Mount Rainier with a steel axe. Here it is right here. This thing is awesome. It's strong and durable, but it's very heavy because it's made out of steel. And to a climber, weight means everything. Every ounce, every pound adds up, and we do everything we can to stay light so we can move fast. They eventually came out with the aluminum ice axe, okay? And this thing is about half the weight, but just as strong, and it would stop your fall just in case. As a climber, I really enjoyed this, but as a photographer, you need to have the same mindset. You have other camera gear that can add up in weight, and so you want to keep that weight down. So a tripod system that is built by carbon fiber material makes it lighter and easier to move around with. Other features I like about this tripod include it comes with a nice carrying case. Sometimes first impressions give you a clue of how good a product is. And when I received this tripod, I was really impressed with the carrying case it came in. It's tough on the outside, it's padded on the inside, and the zippers feel like they're going to last forever and not break. And I really appreciate the little details, which tells me they really thought this through. Things like the 3/8 inch and the 1/4 inch side adapters with RE style pins for a secure attachment, and a solid carrying handle to grab, the multiple bubble levels, and the round legs versus square legs just to make it easier to grip. It weighs about 7.7 pounds or 3.5 kilograms, and the payload is 10 times that amount, coming in at 77 pounds. The fluid head does okay, although it's not the top of the line. However, I do appreciate them being able to switch from a standard Manfrotto plate to a DJI RS plate. If you're concerned about the if you're concerned about the fluid head, perhaps utilize the tripod and invest in a nicer fluid head or a gimbal head later. Adding accessories like the ground level spreader and the central shaft give you options for going extra high or even down low for stability. Overall, I'm really pleased with this purchase. Why? Mainly because of the affordability and the quality. You're getting a great product for the price that you're paying. I've used multi-lever, multi-stage tripods for way too long, and to go from that to this is a game changer. I actually enjoy this tripod and I'm not frustrated with it. Now, it should be noted that this tripod is not for every video or photographing situation. It's mainly used for stationary settings where you're not on the move all day long. Although it's light enough to go on some short distances, but it's mainly for going somewhere close to set up and you're there for a while. Now, when I was in the Grand Teton National Park this last year, the Pineta tripod was a bit much as I was tracking animals on foot. I realized I needed something even smaller and lighter than the tripod. Check this out. Introducing the YC Onion Pineta Pro Monopod. And I have to say, I really admire companies that take the time to design a good product, and YC Onion certainly achieved that with this monopod. Remember when car manufacturers put drink holders above the radio so that when you turn a corner or hit the brakes, the coffee would spill and get into the knobs and all the buttons and then eventually shorting out the radio? They simply didn't think things through. But I have to say, YC Onion really thought this one through, taking into account everything that makes a product frustration-free and actually fun to use. No, I'm not a sponsor of YC Onion, but I proudly recommend a good product when I see one. So here it is in action. Wasn't that amazing? No twist knobs, no multi-stages adjusting the height, and no separate levers. It's one clutch with a one-step height adjustment. I feel like I can do a mic drop there and be done with this video. But let me show you why I like this product for every amateur out there trying to go pro in wildlife photography. First and foremost is the clutch system. Now, I was a little reluctant at first when it came to a clutch on a monopod or a tripod for that matter, and I think it only works if it's designed and built well with quality parts. This monopod has all three. I actually like the handle for a quick release, and it feels like it's built strong with no play between the release and the lock positions. Once you get it in the position that you like, you can lock it down so it doesn't move. It collapses just to about nothing, and it packs away no problem. Now granted, there are other smaller and lighter packable monopods out there, but the Pineta Pro monopod strikes a balance between going light with carbon fiber material, but also strong and stable enough to have a heavy lens or maybe even a cinema rig camera hooked up to your monopod. And the base includes a solid 3-leg wide base platform, so there's less worry and more stability. But if you need to pan and tilt to get the shot, simply hit the foot pedal to release it from the vertical position. Now you are free to move about as you track birds or moving targets, or anything else that you need practice with.
I know you, I walked with you once upon a dream.
And let's say the ground isn't level. Well, simply adjust the damping tension, and now you can keep it vertically straight up and down no matter the incline, and then lock it in place and walk away. It has a 1/4-inch RE style mount, so you can add a magic arm, a monitor, or a light. It has a one-step quick release for the base and the head. The base so you can shoot low at ground level for those unique eye-level shots, or to save weight and make it a true monopod, and to remove the head to swap out a fluid head or a gimbal head. One last thing, there are times when you don't want to carry around a tripod or even a monopod. In that case, perhaps a cotton chest harness will suffice, allowing you to secure your camera as you explore animals. Now, I've told you about all the Pineta Pro features, but how do I really feel about it? Will it help me with my pursuit to pro? Well, let me ask. Will it be easy to travel around with, especially in the wilderness? Yes. Is the clutch system reliable? Yes. Is it actually fun to use? Yes. Can I set the camera on a monopod and comfortably walk away? Yes. But most of all, can I take better pictures and video with this monopod? And the answer is yes, yes, and yes. Because of the stability, the less camera shake, the tracking by pan and the tilt, and by locking it down so the only thing you need to worry about is hitting the shutter button and getting the right focus. This monopod will help you get ridiculously sharp pictures where you can zoom in to the finest details, or those smooth, slow motion panning shots as a bird is taking flight. If you're frequently on the move with your camera, but you still need something that's light, strong, and stable for your camera setup, then this monopod is the one for you. Now, I hope you found this video helpful as you journey from amateur to pro. If so, please like and subscribe for my next video coming out, and if not, well, go find some animals.